Grand Rising Soul Tribe. Tracy here with Sweet Spot Magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, the views, subscribes, comments, generous donations in all forms, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's go ahead and ring the bell. Let's clear out this energy, and then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us this morning. I didn't have time. Well, I could have made time, but I didn't want to set the start of it in a few more minutes because then that would give us a few minutes less together. So let's ring the bell. Grand Rising, Robert. Hello, T-Von. Hey, Red Violet. Happy Thursday to you too. I feel like you have a brand new start. Excuse me. Something that's honest, that's clear. Something that's of the heart. It's like it's time to let go of those old tapes, those old recordings that we had in our heads. It's time to let that go. Because those recordings, those tapes, and I'm picturing, you remember those old school tapes that we would put in if something was going on, we would, if the tape got out, we would take a pencil and we'd do like this and one of them to kind of get that tape back in. It's time to let that go. Because not only is that signifying something that's no longer here, it's signifying it's past, it's over. It's time to let it go. I feel that we can get ready for that agape love. Something that's selfless, something that's unconditional. Hi, the one he fumbled, 85. How are you? Bottom of the deck, there's an offer that's coming in. Like I said, it's of the heart. It's something that's pure. And this could be somebody that you had to walk away from in the past. But I feel like maybe this person is actually coming back. Someone is returning. Whether this is someone that, you wish to return, or if this is something like pure love, that unconditional love, honest love that you deserve is now coming your way. Hi, how are you? Lies never stuck. How are you? Yeah, somebody has had an opportunity to go within and to look at themselves. Maybe they had to do some research. Maybe they had to hear some cold, hard truths. But whatever it was a shock to them. It was a shock. It was something that maybe they didn't want to accept. They didn't want to believe. They didn't want to look at themselves and believe it about them. Like, how could I have been this monster? How could I have been this cruel? How could I have done these things? How could I have said these things? How could I have not been loyal? This is something that somebody, that maybe you spoke the truth to, or you've always spoken the truth to. This is somebody that I feel like you were loyal to, and they should have been loyal to you. But now they're looking at you in a whole new light. They're looking at you as the only one they can trust. The only one that's ever been 100% honest. And honesty can hurt. Like they say, the truth hurts. That's the shit that can shut a person down. That's the shit that can make somebody say, "Oh, I don't want to be a bother with that." No. But regardless of how someone accepted it at that time, now they're looking at themselves like, you know what? Collective was always honest with me, even when the truth hurt. See, somebody thought that they was going to get some sort of prize. They thought that they was going to get some sort of wish fulfillment if they said something negative about you, if they acted like you wasn't telling the truth, if they stayed in some type of narcissistic point of view, if they continued to fudge, the whole truth, or plant seeds of doubt in other people's minds, or misconstrued how you really were. They thought that they was going to get some type of acceptance, some type of leg up, some type of, you know what, you're one of us now. Let collective go. Turn your back on collective. But that's not what happened. They're seeing that they was pushed out into the cold. They're seeing that, those backstabbing words, those lies, those untruths, that didn't make anyone want to accept them more. They're seeing now that made those people want to say, "Ooh, what's wrong with you?" Not what's wrong with collective. Because if there's anything that they know about you, these outside people, they know the collective is going to give it to them straight with no chaser. This person now sees that you were the one with that agape love. Hey, Tia. You were the only one that was worthy of their respect, their love, them putting somebody up on a pedestal. It should have been you. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Miss Grand Marquise. It didn't have to be anyone else. See, this is just somebody who didn't appreciate what they had when they had it until, like they say, you don't miss your water till the well runs dry. Well, you know what? They grabbed that bucket. They put that bucket down there. They just let it bloom. And then they started pulling the bucket up with the rope, at the end of the pulley and everything. And whenever they got that bucket up, they was like, what is this? Dust? Sand? Dirt? A piece of old wood? What is this, some toenails? When really they wanted that water. Really, they wanted all of that water. All of that water. But it was no longer there. Because you weren't there. That's whenever they realized, you know what? They got to put some respect on your name. Someone wants to send you a message. I want to let you know that they are making a fresh start. They want you to make a fresh start with them. They want y'all to start over. Let's try this again, but this time let me have myself where I really need to be. Let me have given you the respect that you deserve, that you always deserve, but yet I was too blind to see. That's what somebody wants to say. Now that conversation that they're having, or the words that they're putting out, the things that they're saying, now it sounded like it's more loving. It's more kind. Now when they got something to say about you, it's not, well, collective this and collective that. They're like, you know what? Collective is always this. Collective is always that. Hey, Tia. Pigs may just fly, because this person is looking at how far you've come, what all you've accomplished by yourself. And they're realizing how hard you actually had to work. This person could only hope to measure up to half the person that you are because of everything that you've done. I feel like maybe somebody had to kind of pull them to the side and tell them, you know what, I don't think that you realize everything the collective has done because you ain't even reached that level. It's easy to look down our nose at somebody else when we ain't done the same thing that they've done. We haven't accomplished the same things that they've accomplished. And just as an example, you have a couple over here raising the child, and then you got a single parent over here raising the child. It's easy for that couple to look down on that single parent and say, well, you know what, you should have did this, you should have did that. You could have did this, you could have did that. Why didn't you just do this? Why didn't you just do that? Whenever they're not realizing there's two of them, but yet there's only one of you. Or any type of combinations like that. But it's easy for somebody to look down on their nose and say, well, you never did this and you never did that, whenever they're not even thinking about all of the situation, the entire situation, and every factor that was involved, and every little nuance. It all makes a big difference. Someone is realizing how much they hurt this family. Your family. How they was the catalyst to bring in the pain. See, this person was confused on where they were at in this relationship. They were confused on what role that they were supposed to play. It wasn't that you had to have all the responsibility, all the burdens to carry on your shoulders. It was that they were supposed to get to a point where they said, you know what, let me take this off your shoulders and put it on my shoulders. Because at some point they had to realize you had already given 300%. And they had only given 25. At some point, they was going to have to give at least 100%. And that still would have meant that you were still giving twice as much as them with your 200%. And if they really wanted to push themselves, if they really wanted to make a difference, if they really wanted to stand out, if they really wanted to accept responsibility, they would have bumped it up to them giving 150% and you giving 150%. So that the level of give and take did not diminish, or the level of the excellence did not ever diminish. It was still going to be more than enough. It's just that it was going to be equally shared. The reason that they put that bucket in, and whenever they brought it up, it was sand, dirt, and dust, toenail clippings, piece of wood, an old used up tissue, is because whenever they was only given 25, they didn't realize that 275% was going to be that big of a difference. They didn't realize that until they said, where the fuck is the rest of this? Hold up. Where's everybody that's singing my praises? Hold up. Where's all the help that I thought I was going to get? Hold up. Where's all this? Where's all that? Where? We don't know. See, somebody was thinking that they was doing themselves a favor, and maybe they were. They was being selfish. They was being stingy. They felt like they was the only one that deserved to receive. And they watched how hard you had to fight for everything. How hard you had to work for everything. How you struggled, but how you made it. How you provided. How you pulled it out the mud. And like I said, they sat around and talked all this bullshit about your name. Only to find out now they're singing your praises because they realize now they have discernment about everybody that they sat around and talked about you with how much they should have been singing your praises as opposed to trying to talk down about you. It's a big difference. See, somebody didn't realize exactly how strong you were, how courageous you were. How you had to stand up to some pretty big opposition. How you had to make a way out of no way. They didn't realize that. They didn't realize that whenever you walked into the room, you wasn't walking in like no quiet little mouse. You was walking in roaring. You was walking in demanding your respect. They didn't realize people was giving you your respect not because they felt like they should, but because they knew they better had. This person didn't realize how you even stood up for them when it mattered. Behind their back. That's when it really mattered. How you protected them. How you made sure wasn't nobody gonna come around and do no fuck shit to them. How whenever they wasn't even in the room, but you was there and somebody had something smart to say, you was like, oh, I know the fuck you didn't. They didn't think about that. They didn't know about that. They didn't think about all that forward movement that they had. You was the one who pushed them forward. You was the one who cleared that road. You was the one who made that way for them even to be possible. You were the one you was the gasoline in that engine that kept them going forward in the right direction. They didn't realize that until after that well ran dry. When everything changed. Everything changed. See, they took it all for granted. Everything changed. And that's when they realized them cups back there, they was looking at the wrong shit. All that somebody thought that they had, that's done. It's over with. Now they know that they need to turn this Wheel of Fortune in their own favor because they have gone through karma. Fate has called them by their first, middle, and last name. They know now, don't ever bite the hand that feeds you. They so hungry right now, but they realize that you kept them well fed. Somebody wants to send a message. Somebody wants to communicate. They want to communicate to break this, to stop the stalemate. Because right now they're feeling burdened. They're feeling like, you know what, that they have all the weight on their shoulders. And they're wondering how you carried the weight for so long and you didn't complain. You didn't complain because you knew that complaining wasn't going to get you anywhere. You was just going to get in there and do the damn work. You felt like as long as you got in there, you did the work, somebody was going to be able to see what you did, and they was going to be able to understand the sacrifices that you made for them, and that would have been enough. But see, without you jumping in, without you doing the work, without you sacrificing and putting all of that back on their shoulders, that's when they started to feel the pressure. And that was some pressure they never, ever, ever experienced. Never thought that they would ever experience that. See, now somebody is looking at you as what you actually gave. It's actually what you did. Somebody is looking at you and they figuring out how much you gave and how much you did. They see now that, you know what, that they should have really given back. They are having truth and clarity about some people that they thought was going to really get them across the finish line. This could be somebody that, was jealous of you. Somebody that tried to get somebody else off track. Somebody who, was trying to be overbearing, controlling. They thought that these people were going to get them across the finish line. And they had this all mapped out. They had this all planned out, how they was going to leave you, and they was going to be over there, and wherever you was, you was. But see, what they didn't expect to come in was chaos, was calamity. They didn't expect this cacophony. That's what they didn't expect. And that's all that came. After they turned their back on you, after they let everybody know, oh, I've turned my back on her or him. Oh, I'm done with collective. Oh, he or she, they can go on. I don't care where they went. That's when they knew, oh, we got her in, y'all. We can attack. We can fight. We can gang up on this person because this person is too stupid to know the difference. They too dumb to know when they had it good. God was watching. God saw everything. And God made sure that these same people, that somebody thought that they was going to cross the finish line with, was the same people that turned on them. It's those same people that were singing your praises saying, what you talking about? You had a whole empress and you threw that away. You had this, that. You didn't appreciate it. So shit, you're the only one that's looking dumb here. See, when we take somebody for granted, it's because we think that we can go out there and get that same thing. Like, okay, we can go get it somewhere else. That's when we have to learn the lesson. We can't get it nowhere else. It was in that one person. the one that we should have respected, the one we should have appreciated, the one that we should have said we should have held up here, because you know what, we should have had our eyes open enough to see that this is the one who's doing a lot for us. These people over here, they just talking a good game, and maybe ain't even a good game, they just talking. But this is the one that we need to hold in high esteem. See, somebody had these wishes. They thought they was wishing, I wish upon a star, wish I may, wish I might, wish tonight, whatever this is. They was wishing upon a star, knowing that they was doing you wrong, knowing they was doing you dirty, knowing that they was not supporting you the way that they should have supported you, knowing they was talking bad about you behind your back, know that they was being a hidden enemy, knowing that they was acting like the devil. And they had the nerve to think that they was going to have a wish that was granted. Now they just want to be saved. Now they just want to be able to go to calmer waters, because now those same people try to assassinate this person. Whether it was character assassinate them, whether it was financially assassinate them, whether it was take away their confidence, fuck up their money, get them fired from their job. Now somebody just wants to be saved. Hi, Crystal Empress. Welcome to the Sweet Spot Stole Tribe. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Knowing that they just want to be saved. Isn't that funny how all that flips? And see, this person is looking at you totally differently now. It's almost like this person, they look at you, that whole spiritual side, that whole side of I see it, but I'm not talking about it. That whole side of I'm going to tell you a little bit, but you need to keep your eyes open. They're looking at you totally differently now. Now they respect that spiritual side of you. Now they see that that's a positive. Now they see that you know when to leave, like that song. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. They understand that and they appreciate that shit now. Because they didn't know. They couldn't see what you was trying to tell them. They couldn't see what you was spelling out. They couldn't see everything. They refused to pick up what you was putting down. Because they thought they were so big on themselves. They was like, no, this ain't going to happen to me. You know who I am? My name was Reginald T. Hardy III. So what? It could have been the 3rd, the 5th, the 18th, the 21st. It was going to happen to this person. See, this person now, they understand that, you know what, the reason that you are the way that you are, why you have so much empathy and compassion, how you have all of this and all of that, and you know where to move, and you follow your where God is leading you, and you pray and everything else, is because you know what? You've had to survive this by yourself. You've had to live in the dark and use the moon just to get around, because for a long time for you, there was no sun. This is why you understood what was coming in. You understood who was a hidden enemy. This is why you stayed by yourself. This is why you allowed, your emotions to lead and guide your direct your steps. See, this person, they didn't realize all of that. They didn't realize that your spiritual strength came at a great cost. You paid heavily to have that. This is some shit you've been dealing with since you was a child. You paid heavily for these gifts. Heavily. Now somebody wants to step up to the plate. Somebody that's honorable. Somebody that means you well. Somebody that's loyal. Somebody that when they say they're going to do it, they're going to do it. This is somebody that's a leader. You know, and I feel like this person is also very passionate about you. This person is, it's like they realize these spiritual gifts that you have. They realize that you're a whole earth angel. They realize that, you know, with you, they will win. This is why they don't want to just give to you. They want to invest in you. They want to give you things that you never had. And those things could be, doesn't necessarily mean the best things that money can buy. It could be the best things that money cannot buy. Like I said, the agape love. Something that's unconditional. Something that is so selfless. Somebody that thinks about you. They add you to the equation. They're not just thinking about themselves. Oh, you know what? This would be good for me. Fuck what Collective want. Oh, I'm going to give Collective just a little bit. No, they add you into the equation. They treat you. They respect you as much as they respect themselves. This is somebody that wants to have a foundation with you. A strong foundation with you. This person has been watching you. Not only watching you, but they have been praying as well. Praying for forgiveness. Praying for you to have a positive response. Praying for an opportunity. Whatever they've been praying for, they have been praying. Because they know that, you know, right now they are receiving justice for whatever they've done. And this is something that this person is having a hard time letting go of. Because like I said, you know, you a whole gift out here. You a whole opportunity. And they know this. But yet somebody realizes they got themselves in a position by not acknowledging this. Now somebody wants to be able to manifest something with you. Somebody, you know, judgment has been called on this person. Or at least they called judgment on somebody else who was trying to, you know, who possibly did some type of fuck shit towards you. Or judgment has been called on this person because of the fuck shit that they did towards you in the past. But either way, judgment's been called. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yeah, like I said, this person now, they don't just want to give to you. They actually want to invest in you. Because they see you to be somebody that is worth it. I'm hearing winner, winner, chicken dinner. Somebody that they really would do, they would do themselves wonders investing in you. Yeah, somebody because they know now that, you know what? I feel like in the past they know that they've done too much, said too much. And whatever they said, it left them out in the cold. This is somebody who was doing so much, it's like, but until it's like it took everybody to leave this person's life for them to realize who they actually were. It took everybody to separate themselves from that person before they actually came to terms and into grips as to what type of person they have been showing up as, how they have been writing their own life story, what their life story says about them, because we write our own book. And we have to be careful about what we're saying about ourselves. And what we're saying about ourselves is how we present ourselves. So somebody had to realize the book that they was writing, their own autobiography, it was not looking too good. It was not sounding too good. It was not reading good at all. It was like, this is looking more like a horror story than it was something that was positive. Yeah, this person was looking like they was so fucking egotistical, so stuck on self, so selfish, like they had nothing but pride and ego. That was their best friend that was right next to them, that was always by their side. And when they realized what type of story they was writing about their own life, that's when they started getting sad. That's when they had regrets. That's when they knew it was time for them to change. That's when they knew it was time for them to end that fucking chapter and start something that sounds more positive, something that's more healing, something that they wanted to represent a better outcome. So that's when they said that it was time for them to start anew. This is whenever they realized that they wanted to be seen as the type of person that you are. Independent, a hard worker, somebody that's pragmatic. When you see a problem, you're not going to sit here and pussyfoot around the problem. You ain't going to complain about the problem. You ain't going to sit here and go, well, damn, there's a problem. There's a problem. What are we going to do? You're going to get in there and fix the problem. If you see it, if you have a flat tire, you're not going to sit there and walk up and down the side of the highway, pulling your hair out, yelling, screaming, cussing. You going to get that, pop that trunk, get that spare out, get whatever it is that you need. You're going to jack up that motherfucking car. You're going to take that little, that thing and undo them lug nuts. You're going to sit there and get the shit done. So you can get back in your car and get the fuck on. Hey, Addie, how are you? Someone wants to end this chapter of the heartache and the heartbreak that they know they've been causing. They want to end that chapter. They want to turn this whole situation around. And you know what? And I feel like you are ending a chapter as well, or you have ended a chapter. Like I said, it's time to let those old recordings of shit that people said, shit that people did, shit that people told us, shit that people wanted us to believe about ourselves. It's time to let all that shit go. Them tapes no longer have any weight. That was the devil trying to bring us down. And that motherfucker wasn't even successful. That motherfucker had to go. Because what we get is what we're doing now is we loving on ourselves. We giving ourselves all the love that we need. Everything that we wish for is going to be given to us by God. It's like somebody had to understand how they was appearing. Now they see things clearly. Now they want to stop that shit. Before they couldn't. It's like somebody couldn't see it before. They was lying to themselves, saying that they didn't love you. They was lying to themselves, saying they didn't want to be a part of you. Now they're coming back. Now they want to celebrate with you. Because they know that if they celebrating with you, they on the right track. Yes, somebody has made a judgment call. It's time to get on the good foot. It's time to stop pussing around. It's time to stop playing games. It's time to grow the fuck up. It's time. You know, when you a child, you're going to act like a child. But once you get to be an adult, you need to act like an adult. Somebody said it's time to let those childish ass ways go. Bottom of the deck. 8 of Swords. This is where somebody feels stuck. And they felt stuck because of all that bullshit that they were saying about you got them in this position. All that bad mouthing that they did got them in that position. They wishing that they would have just kept to themselves and shut the fuck up. Not had anything negative to say. Now that same group that they wanted to work with so bad, they find that they have to let those motherfuckers go. Hey, Rialda, how are you? Long time no see. Yeah, and see, somebody realized that what they thought was coming in isn't what they got. What you thought was not what you got. And what actually came in was not emotionally satisfying at all. Not only was it not emotionally satisfying, but this is somebody who had to protect themselves. They had to learn real quick how to protect themselves. And the thing that they were sitting here thinking about was everything that you told them about these people, about this person, about this group. You spelled it out. You said it letter for letter, word for word, sentence for sentence, paragraph for paragraph, book by book. And they didn't think that you knew what you was talking about until that shit started happening. Somebody was a witch. Somebody was a warlock. Somebody was an agent of the devil. See, it wasn't until the shit started happening the way that you said it was going to happen, that's when they figured this shit out. Like I said, that's somebody that's praying. They're praying, God, please deliver me from this bullshit. Please get me back to where I need to be, where I was before. Oh my God, I respect this woman so much. Oh my God, I love this woman so much. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure, she ain't never lied to me. This person feels like such a fool, such a motherfucking fool for speaking ill on your name. And everything that they said, people know they was lying. Everybody know they was lying. They waited for this person to be defenseless by themselves, and then that's when they ganged up on them. It was like, you ain't nothing but a motherfucking lie, punk. Like I said, they chose to learn the hard fucking way. That they wasn't as bright as they thought they was. They wasn't as street smart as they thought they was. They wasn't as tough as they thought they was. They didn't have as much courage as they thought they was. And they sure the fuck didn't have no street smarts, spiritual smarts, bull smarts, and none of that like they thought they did. They realized that you had it. And like I said, it's karma that this person has to protect themselves, had to stand up for themselves. It's karma. So that they can really understand, you know what? Collective was doing all this. That's why I don't know what the fuck is going on. Because I ain't never had to get down to wear the crown. Collective just gave me the crown. But Collective know how to get down. That's why Collective wear that crown. That's why whenever Collective walk in the room, everybody bow down. And they watching you still be happy. They know that they ain't messed nothing up in your life. Everything that was messed up, that was in their own life. They realize they hurt themselves. That opportunity that they had with you, they fucked themselves up. You still good. Sun is still shining on your side of the street. You still gonna get what you wish for. You still gonna get what you ask God for. You still gonna get your prayers answered. Now somebody want to come to you because they want to acknowledge your status. They want to acknowledge and give you your props. They want to apologize. They want to let you know they was young, dumb, and full of cum. They was immature. They thought like a child. And now they understand that you was a whole earth angel, sent to help them, sent to protect them, sent to get them to the next level, up. Not listening to them motherfuckers that was going to get them to the next level, down. The truth has come out. They understand the truth. There's no denying it. When everything ended for them, come to a screeching halt, when they realized whenever that chariot hit that wall, the day was to crash, dummy. That's whenever they felt like they had no choice except to accept the truth. And they refused to see you for who you were. But they don't have any choice now, because you know what? The strength, the kindness, the courage, the empathy, the ability to see. Oh, they know that you, like I said, you know how to get down. That's why you wear that crown. See, somebody, they know that they should have been loyal. I feel like somebody wants to talk about this now. They want to send out a message. And this is a message that's long overdue. Long overdue. And what they want to tell you is that they have been working on themselves diligently because they need to change this whole situation around. They want to let you know that they're ready to accept this burden off of your back, because everything then exploded on them, and they couldn't see what you was trying to tell them about this witch, about this third party, about this person that was trying to stick their nose in y'all business, who had no business sticking their nose in y'all business. See, God had to have them hear a few conversations now. God had to have them physically standing outside that door of that room full of people, for them to hear that those people was in there discussing this motherfucker. Now they want to tell you how much they respect you. They want to tell you how much they respect you for providing all the stability that they ever needed. They want to tell you how they have learned a big lesson about who they choose, about the importance of looking at everything, about the importance of choosing the one that's been there for you, not just the one that make it sound good. They rushed in, only to go rushing in and hitting that fucking wall. and having a wake-up call. Waking up to somebody that played a trick on them. Woo. Yes, Lord. Somebody's going to have a brand new start. They need to let go of the old recording in their head. They need to be thankful. But I feel that, you are about to experience some unconditional love, whether this is from a new person or this is somebody that you still love that's coming back. Somebody that wants to show you the respect. Yes. Somebody that's not going to lie to you. Somebody that's not going to lie to you. Somebody's going to understand that you're not going to lie to them either. You can give it to them straight with no chaser. Yes. Somebody that's going to be fair with you and is going to have your back, is going to protect you. This is a lot of truth right here. This is a lot of protection right there. Because somebody understands who you are now. This ain't no play. This life is for real. And they see this, they know who you are. They see this very clearly. They know, yes, you do have gifts. Yes, you are very spiritual. Yes, you are so highly connected to the Most High. This shit ain't funny. And if nothing else, they the only ones who couldn't see the fucking devil. But you saw that devil all along. You saw that devil before that devil even got down the damn street. You knew what that devil had in mind. And it was to put an end to that happy family. It was to put an end to what somebody really wanted in their life. It was to cause this chaos and this confusion by starting all this gossip to make it seem like, you know what, you was to put you in a position that, and people were sitting here gossiping about you. Now somebody, like I said, they got that discernment ever since they decided that it was time for them to go in and look at themselves, see what type of story they was writing about their own life. It makes a difference whenever you write your life, write your own life story. You have to be honest with yourself now. You can't sit there and say, well, I said this and I said that. When you was out here starting calamity, well, when you honest about that book that you're writing about your own life, that's when you go, shit, I need to change. Somebody had to be honest about the book that they was writing. That's when they said, shit, I wasn't spreading love. Not at all. I was out here fucking people up. Big difference. A big difference. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. I got 1 minute before I got to clock in, do my straight 8. It is Thursday. Let's think of your question. All right, Spirit, which way is the pendulum going to swing? Looks like it is a yes. Looks like the pendulum is swinging as a yes. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you all. And I look forward to seeing you a little bit later, okay? Have a wonderful Thursday. All right. Bye now.